Have you ever looked at your life and felt that something was wrong? Not because you did not try, but because things did not turn out evenly or perfectly. Many people carry that quiet weight, believing their value is measured by how balanced or successful everything looks. This is a gentle reminder that worth is not found in perfection, but in care, patience, and staying present through imperfect days. Before we get into it, remember to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. At the edge of a quiet village lived an old woman named Anya. Her small cottage stood near open fields where the wind passed freely, and behind it rested a modest garden she tended every day. Each morning, before the sun fully rose, Anya stepped outside with slow, careful movements, carrying water and hope in equal measure. Yet no matter how gently she worked, her garden never looked the way she believed it should. Some flowers grew tall and strong, their colors bright against the soil. Others struggled, bending low or fading before they had fully bloomed. Many places remained empty, bare patches of earth where nothing seemed willing to grow. Anya watched all of it in silence, her heart growing heavier with each passing day. She believed the uneven garden was a reflection of her own failure. She told herself her hands were too old, her timing too late, her care not good enough. Each crooked stem felt like a quiet judgment. When people passed along the nearby path, Anya lowered her eyes, imagining that they saw not flowers, but proof that she had lost her worth. Still, she returned to the soil each day, watering, pulling weeds, and waiting. As time passed, Anya's movements became slower and more distant. She continued her routine, but without joy. In the evenings, she sat by her door and stared at her hands, marked by years of labor. She wondered if she had always been this way, trying, yet never quite enough. The garden remained uneven, and so did her thoughts. Spring gave way to warmer days. The fields around the village grew green and full, while Anya's garden stayed unpredictable. One afternoon, a strong wind swept through, bending the tallest flowers and scattering petals across the ground. Anya watched quietly, feeling as though even the things that managed to grow could not last. When the wind passed, she stepped into the garden to gather what had fallen. As she knelt near the stones, something small caught her eye. Between the cracks, tiny wildflowers had appeared. They were not planned, not planted by her hands, and not perfect, yet they stood firmly, untouched by the storm. Anya paused. Her first instinct was to remove them, thinking they did not belong, but she hesitated. She noticed how they leaned gently toward the light, how they filled spaces she had long ignored. For a moment, she did nothing at all. She simply breathed and listened to the quiet around her. From that day on, Anya began to notice things she had missed before. She saw how taller flowers offered shade to smaller ones. She saw how empty soil collected water that later nourished nearby roots. Even the weeds she once pulled away too quickly helped hold the earth together when rain came. The garden was not failing. It was simply alive in its own way. One morning, Anya changed how she worked. Instead of correcting every flaw, she observed. She followed the sunlight, felt the soil, and waited before acting. She stopped measuring her effort by results and began measuring it by care. Slowly, her steps became lighter, her thoughts calmer. The garden did not become even. Some flowers still bloomed late, others not at all. But color began to spread in unexpected places. Life appeared where she once saw only emptiness. And something inside Anya softened. She no longer blamed herself when things did not grow as planned. She adjusted gently and continued. One afternoon, she gathered a small basket of flowers. They were different shapes and sizes, some bright, some worn by wind. She placed them together without trying to match them. Sitting by her window, watching sunlight rest on their petals, Anya felt a warmth she had not felt in years. As summer approached, villagers began slowing their steps near her fence. They looked longer, not because the garden was perfect, but because it felt honest. Anya noticed, but she did not seek approval. She simply continued tending the soil with steady hands and a peaceful heart. That evening, Anya washed her hands and studied them closely. They were still lined and rough, but now she saw them differently. These were hands that stayed, that cared, that did not give up when growth was slow. In that moment, she understood that her life, like her garden, had never been broken, only uneven. Standing quietly by her door, Anya looked at the garden resting in the fading light. It leaned and twisted, full of life in unexpected places, and she finally understood that worth is not created by balance or perfection, but by patience and presence. If you have ever felt imperfect or unfinished, remember this: what grows with care has value, and sometimes the most beautiful things grow in uneven ways. What part of your life are you learning to accept as it is? Comment it below. Thanks for watching.